Hey guys, Justin Adamu here, and it's time for a customs project update. I'm currently building a GM arsenal, a GM army. And, you know, that's kind of hard with MSIA, because really, all they gave you MSIA was the GM version 1, and I love the GM version 1, but, you know, his arms kind of fall off, and he's got limited flexibility. Then there's the ground type GM, which I didn't bring over here. And then there's the GM version 2. Some of you might not even know this guy exists because he's Japanese only, he's incredibly rare. He's a cousin to the Gundam version 2. Practically the same build. But slightly different color scheme than a GM head. But you know, it's really hard to build custom GMs because where are you going to get GM heads? Obviously, you're not going to steal it from a version 2. Obviously, you're not going to steal it from the version 1 because the heads are, like, so much smaller. Well, you could, but he's got a small head. So, I've been stealing ground-type GM heads. This is just a spare GM sniper head. I only take parts from ground-type GMs and GM snipers that are incomplete, so don't cry, I didn't kill a perfectly good Gundam version 2 or GM sniper. That didn't happen. I just am using parts. But over here, there's a tutorial on how to build this guy. This is the GM version 1.5. I call it 1.5 because it's made out of a Gundam version 1.5. Because at the time, I only had one of these guys. These GM Sniper 2s. Or not 2s, but version 2s. And I wanted more. So I came up with a way to build more using what's common here in America, the Gundam version 1.5, also the one that goes with the G-Armor parts and everything. Whereas the version 2 comes with a core booster. A lot of people in Japan and other places make customs out of the version 2. I guess he's kind of easy to get there, but here in America, very hard to get. So I've been working with what's easy to get, version 1.5s. And so I'm building an entire GM line, several lines, based off that, about feasibility to produce, you know, as a custom and things like that. Basically, just take a ground type GM head, cut off its chin and its little vents, and then you drill some head Vulcans in. And this was my starter, and since this guy I've been working on different versions, different variants of the GM. And so right here I have my GM D type in the works. He needs to have his head modified with head Vulcans and an antenna and some other things. But this is my early attempt at quad boosters. I'm gonna redo it because I think it came out kind of horrible. But a lot of the same stuff that went into the 1.5 is on there, only I'm using Alex Gundam's torsos because they match up better. Then comes the GM Command, who's a little less refined at the moment. Since all of these have very similar characteristics, I've been building them all at the same time. So that's my GM Command in the works. And then there's the GM Kai. And the GM Kai has a body type more like the original GM than the Alex, kind of a mix. And so this is what I have at the moment. They're still kind of in their early stages, but they are advanced customs because they require some joint replacement and some cutting, things like that. And they're not done yet. But when this is all done, I'll have a perfectly good GM 1.5. I'll have a GM D type, I'll have a GM Command, and I'll have a GM Kai. And then once each is complete, I will probably begin work on the famous GM Sniper 2. However, that one's not going to be as easy. And so, we'll see. I also am hoping to build 3 of each. That's my dream, is to build 3 GMD types, 3 GM commands, 3 GM Kais, and to fill in my GM ranks. I'll probably do a tutorial, a whole tutorial on how to build each one when that day comes that I'm producing them in number, or producing doubles. Also, it's not too hard to use the GM, or the Gundam version 2. Sorry. Basically, the only difference is right here. I used GM version, or a Gundam version 2 arm instead of a Gundam 1.5. So you just swap out the arms and the legs, and bam. Because trying to implement the Gundam version 2, sorry, I'm not sure what I just said. Gundam version 2 arm, Gundam 1.5 arm. They're perfectly swappable. So you can just swap the appendages. I'm not too sure if it's worth it to try and change the torso so it's more flexible with the version 2. But yeah, that's where things are at. And I think my GM line's coming along pretty good. They'll need some painting for sure. This one still needs painted, but yeah. Hope you guys like them. Let me know what you think.